Well, hello my YouTube family. Welcome everybody. This is the Canadian YouTube creator, of course also known as, just gonna keep an eye on the time today my friends. It's Jason Cosmic RSSP Authority. RSSP of course stands for my present subscribers. You guys know, and thank you for coming back to my channel to watch my videos, my subscribers. But for newbies new to the channel, it stands for Real Secret Space Program. Way up there in space. And do I have a great video for you guys today, man. This is going to be so much fun, my friends, because, you know, here I'm a Canadian YouTube creator, guys, and I focus a lot, though, on the Empire of the United States again. Because when we talk about the Real Secret Space Program, and I am an authority, I like to think, my friends. I'm a hardcore researcher. Of course, I'm not perfect, but I've been really digging in to try to get the truth out, my friends, and to try to provide the much needed sufficient transparency that I think obviously is needed. And together, my friends, we can be advocates for the truth, as I always say, right? And we can break down the walls of this crazy, absurd elite secrecy. Because, for example, guys, as I've said over and over again, the cover-up on military UFOs, for example, guys, in the Real Secret Space Program, the cover-up is going on 70 years. Yes, 70 years. The military and the defense contractors, the governments, have lied to us and hoodwinked us every which way. But, my friends, we are starting to unpack more truth, and we can get we're this close, my friends, to getting our divine right to this black budget technology. I truly believe that. We just need some intelligent discourse. As I've said in other videos, guys, the lies have become so dysfunctional, so wasteful. We know they're financially harvesting this planet, you know, and they've been doing that for decades. It's disgusting how, as I always say, they're gouging taxpayers left, right, and center. Dark Journalist knows it. Catherine Austin Fitts knows it. And more people are waking up, and I know you guys are too, right? To the financial harvesting. And we're watching a leverage buyout of the planet, in other words, my friends, right? And where's a lot of the money going? Well, as I've always said, guys, and I've shown you, it's going towards largely military UFO flying programs. Absolutely it is. And it's inexplicable to me to this day, guys, I've said before, why nobody's using the correct term. Nobody uses the term military UFOs, right? It's just outrageous. I said that in the last video, guys. You know, we're going to do an amazing video today. We're going to have fun, my friends. I'm going to have fun with you, hopefully, on a little bit of a rant on another CIA dirty player, guys. Unlike the other guy that I showed you with David Frere, though, David Frere, in my opinion, he's not smart enough, intelligent enough to be a real CIA player. But he's still a CIA dirty player in that he's choosing to sell his soul, I believe, guys. The CIA have come to him, this moron that's very malleable and gullible, and he's choosing to make the wrong decision. He's going all over corporate media, I showed you guys, and he's bringing up all the uncertainty of UFOs, right? The former Navy pilot, David Fravor. I describe him as Kermit Frog. He looks like Kermit, doesn't he? He's got the strong neck because he's a pilot and they have to, you know, they're always going against G-forces. And he told you that the military UFOs, of course, there is no G-forces. I've already described that many times in my videos, guys. And the historical legacy of the gravity research in the 1950s, they were already predicting all this, my friends, that UFO spacecraft would not have to, you know, be subject to the G-forces because they're manipulating electromagnetism and gravity. But this moron doesn't even use the right term, military UFOs. He won't even admit. He wants you to think that some could be ET. He made so many convoluted, outrageous, ridiculous proclamations, guys. And again, he's just a shield, basically, for the CIA. They made this guy, they put him out there to distract the public, to give a sanitized, sagitized, pathetic disclosure, guys. And he's a moron. In my opinion, he's a complete moron, basically. So today, guys, we're going to carry on. Might as well be part 2 of the CIA dirty players. Because this guy, my friends, that I'm about to show you, he is absolutely a CIA dirty player. And we know he worked for the CIA, and now he's most likely hired as a CIA contractor. But it's a known fact that he worked for the CIA. We can't trust the CIA. We all know that, right, guys? I mean, there's still some good people, I always say, in the CIA. I always add a qualifier. But we know, guys, we've got to have an awareness campaign over the United States intel agencies. I hope you guys agree. We have got to shun these CIA dirty players, right? And all of us, we have to know, my friends, we've got to see the CIA's behavior. We can't go along, nor should we go along with the CIA antics, right? And that includes the CIA puppets that they put out to distract largely the public, guys, and lie to you guys. They lie to you, okay? And this guy I'm about to show you is a perfect example, my friends. And we know he worked for the CIA, admitted it, and now he's retired. They always get these guys after they retire. You notice that, my friends? Yes, the CIA, they persuade these guys to sell their soul, basically. That's exactly what this guy's doing, my friends. Luis Elizondo is selling his soul. He never talks about the important issues like the missing trillions. If you notice that, with all his talks, this guy is all over the airwaves, right? I could have a field day. I could talk for hours on this idiot. In my opinion, guys, he's a complete idiot. Now, he's not a moron like David Frere. He's a lot more intelligent, I believe, than David Frere, and he did work for the CIA. But now he's most likely a CIA contractor. I'd love to know from you guys, what do you think this guy's getting paid, by the way, right? He's getting paid to lie and distract all of us, my friends. But we don't have to be distracted, guys. We can know the truth. And this is why, you know, I don't agree with everything that from Daniel and Dark Journalist says. You know, it's always great. It's okay to have different variances of opinions. But I do agree with a lot at the same time that Dark Journalist is doing. I have always said he's really evolved his channel, I think, nicely in the last year or so. You know, he's gotten off the ET bandwagon. As I've always said to you guys, you never need an ET explanation, okay, for UFOs. It's military UFOs. I will never vacillate from my conviction, guys. That's the evidence. We made the breakthroughs, all right? And it's very important to define military UFOs, my friends, because that cuts out the uncertainty of UFOs. But you'll never hear this idiot tell you that, right? Now, before I go on, guys, quick reminder. I know I'm jumping the gun here, but if you guys do think if you appreciate my intellectual honesty, because I'm trying to be intellectually honest with my work, my friends, and I am. I'm trying to be bold, honest, open, and true, right from the heart. Obviously, I'm not perfect, guys, but I'm digging in for the truth. Again, trying to help provide the much-needed sufficient transparency that's needed in these topics, guys, and to be advocates for the truth on the most important issues of our times, guys. And that's military UFOs. And that is the real secret space program, my friends, because we're talking about revolutionary non-Plutonian physics, right? Free energy, my friends. Absolutely. So again, guys, if you enjoy my videos, I hope you do. I got a great one for you, my friends. If you stay with me, we're going to watch this clip, okay? And I think you'll find it hopefully interesting. I'll break it down the best way I can. But again, guys, if you enjoy my videos, if you enjoy my intentions, you know, trying to help humanity in my own unique way, I know with your help we can grow this channel, guys. YouTube does not seem to be promoting my videos very well. Maybe I'm just not sensitive enough to the algorithms. Maybe most of my videos are too long. I'm still trying to figure this out, guys. I need your help, okay? So I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. I hope you enjoy most of my videos. I hope you give me the thumbs up, good for the algorithms. And feel free to leave comments, guys. I read them and I appreciate the engagement. I really do, okay? I had a laugh, you know, I exposed Richard Dolan, one of the famous, perhaps the most famous of all the ufologists out there. And he's doing live streams with his beautiful wife, Tracy. I like her. She's really cool. Very intelligent woman for the most part. But Richard Dolan, my friends, when it comes to ufology, he's largely a sellout. In my opinion, in a way, he sold his soul too. He does some other good work, but he's all about, he wanted to make more money, sell more books. So he chose, in my opinion, guys, it's very obvious, he chose to hyperbolize and sensationalize the vague uncertainty UFOs. That's a known fact, guys. So in my opinion, he's deliberately deceived and lied the public for most of his career. He still does it. He will not admit that it's all military UFOs, Richard Dolan. He just vexes my soul at times, Dolan, my friends, and he's making a killing. He's made so much money and gotten famous by tippy-toeing on UFOs, you know, never admitting that they're all military UFOs. Instead, he spins it for ET. And I had to laugh, guys, because I got over 1,000 views over a while back when I put the video on, and I had all kinds of negative comments too. People that, you know, they just loved Richard Dolan, and God forbid if somebody out there in the alternative research field is actually exposing Richard Dolan for some of his statements and showing you that he should be using the term military UFOs and not spinning it for ET. And you know, again, guys, I know I'm getting off track here. This wasn't supposed to be a Richard Dolan rant today, but do you notice Richard Dolan throughout his whole career, and this is how he got famous, otherwise he'd never be famous, he always subscribed that the crash at Roswell, for example, was ET. And even on one of his live streams several months ago, guys, he actually had the audacity to say that part of this classified secret space program, which is absolutely correct, we have a massive secret space program, but then he said in the same sentence, he said, and to a certain extent uses reverse engineered ET craft. What a bunch of horseshit. And Dolan should know better, guys. He knows it's not. We didn't reverse engineer ET craft. As I said in my last video, my friends, never underestimate human brilliance, right? We made the breakthroughs, guys. I show you by the historical legacy of that gravity research. Dolan never talks about the historical legacy of the gravity research, by the way, guys. Okay? And the guy I'm about to show you, Luis Elizondo, here he is. He never talks about it either, my friends. These guys don't talk about real history, the real evidence that there was an epic human project underway in the 1950s, guys. And we know it started really in 1947 as well, when the Americans worked with those paperclip Nazi brilliant German scientists. And even before that, the Nazis made the first gravity breakthrough. And then in the 1950s, guys, you had the second epic human project, as I always describe, in terms of testing, developing, researching, and ultimately curating amazing, radical, gnarly UFO technology. Absolutely, right? So here's Luis Elizondo, guys. I mean, again, I could talk for days on this guy, but we're not going to, I'll try not to make too long of a video today, but I just have so much fun with this guy. But it's so important to know, my friends, and to shun this guy. That's why I meant to finish off about Dark Journalist Daniel over at Dark Journalist, my friend. He did a great job, guys, on exposing Luis Elizondo and catching him in his lies. I've done it on my other videos too, guys. One of the outrageous proclamation pronouncements and egregious lies that Alizondo has said. This guy had the audacity and nerve to tell the world and the public that, well, again, describing UFOs, we're going to show the clip, guys, and one of his clips on CNN. But he had the audacity to say the technology's not in our inventory. Oh, really? What a bunch of horseshit. He knows. Well, it may not be in the regular military's inventory, but it's very compartmentalized. Alizondo will know that we have what they call unacknowledged special access projects. He will know, my friends, that this technology is buried in the heart of the military-industrial complex within the defense contractors. I discuss and show you that in my past videos. I hope you guys will go and check me out and listen. And I focus a lot on Lockheed Martin, guys, because they are the prime contractors for a lot of these vehicles, a lot of the amazing exotic technology. The TR-3B, the triangles, they come out of the Aurora space program. And this is why what Alizondo's doing, guys, is so disgusting, right? He never even talks about the defense contractors. You notice that? This idiot, he was associated at least to some level with the defense contractors. He worked for the military, right? He went to wars, and I can respect this part of his career. He fought wars, I believe, in Kandahar, and I forget where else in the world. So, you know, he knows how to operate a gun. You know, he's probably killed people, but to protect, most likely, at least I hope so, his country, the United States. I think in some ways he was good, probably American patriot in his own way years ago, guys. But as I said earlier, my friends, right, and you guys can know this, now that he's retired, he has chosen to sell his soul, man. He's not going to, just like David Frere, these guys are not going to live in eternity in the cosmos with their soul and living in a beautiful life in eternity. Call it heaven, call it what you will. No, guys, because he's selling his soul. He's lying to you. He's lying to the public, and he refuses to discuss the real issues, guys, like the missing trillions. He should be talking about the black budget, because whenever you bring up UFOs, my friends, and you, especially a guy like Alizondo, and you're going on corporate media, you're getting paid, you know, you're doing all this bullshit, really. But whenever you do that, the very least you should do is talk about the black budget and mention how pertinent it is to the manufacturing of our planet. and that we're being financially harvested, right? The whole economy since 1947 really has been contingent on keeping this secret and keeping the funding going, guys, right? We see it. It's so obvious. And again, the lies are so outrageous, so dysfunctional, and it's so wasteful for the economy. And Alizondo should be talking about that, right, guys? And he should be admitting that it's all military UFOs. Hello? We don't need an ET explanation. As I've always said, guys, let our cosmologists and astronomers, people with noble intentions, right? Let them try to search for extraterrestrial life, right? And we're living, I always say, in such an exciting, remarkable, privileged, astonishing era. It really is, right? You know, telescopes have transcended our way of thinking about the universe, for example. I'll do more videos on cosmology, guys. I did one many, many months ago. I hope to do a more polished video on the universe and cosmology and astronomy. That's one of my personal intellectual journeys as well, guys, right? But we really are. I mean, we're living through the greatest renaissance of scientific ideas and exploration discovery, guys, in human history, right? No doubt about it. And in other words, we're living through the most, I always say, the most profound, transformative paradigm shift in human thinking, guys, right? And of course, we live in the information superhighway, uninhibited, unedited through the internet, which largely has been great for society in many ways. And of course, again, space travel and space exploration, guys, right? Now we've got this whole space-based economy. We've got major space investment, major space exploration, space travel. It's so exciting, guys. But we deserve the truth. Most of us in the public, we absolutely deserve the truth on what the hell's going on with the real secret space program. And this means all the technology, guys. They put it right there in the patches. I've discussed and shown you this amazing photo from the Hubble telescope. Here it is, for example, guys, where the military covertly, I call them covert military civilizations, guys, because that's what they are. They're literally all the way in the rings of Saturn. And you'll never hear Elizondo. He should be talking about something like this, right? You know, he was part of the military. Why isn't he discussing this, guys? These are authentic photos in the infrared, right? And you even had disinformation, as always, associated with things like this, guys. Remember, there was a book that came out after these photos were shown to the world by the Hubble telescope, right? Well, you had a guy named, I'll give you an example, guys, how the disinformation in this field, when it comes to UFOs, military UFOs, and all the missing trillions, it's absolutely off the charts, guys. It really is. And, you know, again, guys, the U.S. federal budget, you know, the whole budgetary farce is just that, guys. The whole U.S. budget is a total farce, and we're getting gouged. And that means my beautiful people in Canada, and also, of course, in the United States, and all of our allies, all of Europe, guys. And we deserve the truth. We deserve to ask we need to ask the right questions, and we need to stop this nonsense, guys. You know, from the defense contractors. It's gotten out of control, right? For decades now. It's just crazy, okay? So, but this picture, my friends, I know I'm getting off track here. We'll go back to Alizondo in a moment, but there was a guy named Thomas Berggren. I think that's his name. If I mispronounced his name, I apologize, guys. But he was a famous, quite famous, he was a scientist back in the day at none other than, can you guess the defense contractor he worked for, my friends? Who do I focus on? Lockheed Martin, you better believe it. And this guy, when he came out with his book, it was called Ringmakers of Saturn. And God rest his soul, Thomas Berggren is no longer with us. He died, I think, last year or less than a year ago, right? And he had, that was a very popular book, by the way, Ringmakers of Saturn. And I'm glad that he came out with pictures, you know, showing you, again, what the Hubble telescope came out. And people showed around the world of these amazing pictures of these cigar-shaped craft all the way in the rings of Saturn, guys. But here's the disinformation, guys, and this is what the CIA do time and time again, the defense contractors. Thomas Berggren, he claimed it was extraterrestrial, right? He wouldn't even admit and be courageous and honest. And that means the CIA would not be courageous and honest either and tell you guys the truth, that it's military UFOs. And these are staffed, my friends, by U.S. naval officers, no doubt about it. Absolutely. If you guys have watched some of my videos, even the last video, I tell you that the Navy is spearheading under the military branch now, my friends, They are in charge of the real secret space program, and that means military UFOs. And we know they come out of the oceans. Anybody who does any research, and this is so important, my friends, and the whole world should know this, that they're called USOs. They come out of the oceans. They've been seen by witnesses worldwide. Okay? Now, the cigar-shaped craft, the ones like in the rings of Saturn, this has been measured at least 2 to 3 miles in length. They're the size of small cities, as I talk about in my videos, my friends. That's a fact. But those are released at nighttime, so you don't see them until they're deep in space, you know, from the Hubble telescope and things like that, and telescopes. So, but again, my friends, this is a real reality that we have to look at. These are USOs that come out of the oceans. Again, the Navy have major under-ocean facilities worldwide, my friends. And Catherine Austin Fitts knows this too. I mean, she's even told you, here's a financial expert that's looked at military UFOs and the covert side. That's why I really respect her work. And I wish more women would be involved in a way like Catherine, looking at the covert side, looking at how the economy is being managed, especially, you know, business women that want to understand the economy, but women in general. You ladies out there, I love women. You ladies out there, I want you ladies to understand, and of course guys too. Us guys, we love to build the toys. We built UFOs largely. I'm sure there's some women that are involved in UFO flying programs, but I'm sure the high percentage is guys, of course. But you ladies out there, I want you to never forget something. Catherine will tell you, you know, if you're a group of soccer moms out there, you know, and you want to back Tony Soprano with, you know, from kids dealing drugs in your neighborhood, then you've got to realize that more and more of the economy is being driven by the UFO phenomenon. In other words, you know, there's more and more invasive methods coming from the space orbital platforms, for example, and that, you know, a group of soccer moms, as Fitz explains, you know, you can't back Tony Soprano with kids dealing your drugs in your neighborhood if you're afraid James Bond is going to come down on your head. And this means the exotic technology, guys. This is what we're talking about. This is why it's so important for society. Men, women, kids, people of all ages, guys, us the public, we deserve the truth, and we need to stop being financially harvested. You know, the CIA, guys like the guys that work for, you know, the guys that Alizondo works for, elements of the CIA, the defense contractors, particularly CIA in Elizondo's case, guys, they put him out there to lie to you, right? And the guys behind the curtains of Alizondo, they're the ones that have endangered millions of people. When you're financially harvesting the planet, and they've killed many times to try to keep this secret, guys, often. I mean, this is what's been happening. This higher echelon of society, so-called, right? These greedy, I described some of the greedy American Nazi, how do I say it? I usually describe it as some of the greedy petro-Nazi American British misanthropic money hoarders out there, you know, the troglodytes, warmongers, petro-oligarchs, and kleptocrats, because there's a lot of liars out there, you know. I use that term, kleptocrats. I just lost track on my time here, guys. So let's get into the clip. I know you guys have probably been waiting a long time. When are you going to show the clip, Jason? But I wanted to describe a few things, guys, and describe the backdrop of Alizondo, his career. Now he's retired, like I said. And he goes on corporate media, and here's what he says, guys. Let me just play this for you. I'll get it ready here. Oh, by the way, my friends, side note, find that church bell, would you, on the internet, and hit it, would you, so you can be notified for my future videos, all right? Here we go. Alizondo, just got to get it going here, my friends. We'll get it going. Come on. Here we go. On CNN. Fat-faced Luis Elizondo. He needs me as a fitness trainer, I think. You do, Elizondo. You need to lose some weight, dude. You're solid, but you need to do some more cardio, man.
Sure.
I am a fitness trainer after all. Here we go.
Aerospace Threat Identification.
Aerospace Threat Identification Program.
From a national security perspective, identify those things that we see, whether we see them electronically, we see them with radar, we see them as eyewitness reports through a myriad of different...
Excuse me, guys. I want to pause it. Avoids copyrights, too, and tell you real quickly, guys, on that introduction, Alizondo, and Dark Journalist has covered this, the AA TIP program, right? It stands for Aerospace Aerial Threat Identification Program. You notice, again, this is the American and the CIA playbook and the defense contractors largely, guys. They always try to put out, there's some global threat out there. There's always a threat to the United States for national security. Guys, I understand there's so many great military people out there. There's still even good people in the CIA and the defense contractors. Don't get me wrong, guys, and the NRO and the NSA. But we know there's a lot of unfortunate evildoers as well in these shadow groups, guys. And we've got to expose them. We've got to just look at real reality here, my friends. The United States are literally armed to the teeth, okay? Again, it's great to have a strong military and protect your country, to be able to protect your allies. And the United States can do that, guys. They can protect Canada, my country, and they can protect all countries around the world, basically, guys, particularly all over Europe. I mean, and Russia and China, they're no threat to the United States largely, guys. Again, because the U.S. are armed to the teeth. And this doesn't even include the fact that they've got so many classified vehicles, guys, in low Earth orbit, geocentric orbit, and deep in space, as I showed you as an example, with literally cigar-shaped craft as big as small cities in the rings of Saturn. Okay? Not to mention, we got a proliferation, as I said, of the TR-3B black triangles, guys. And of course, we got flying saucers that have been seen worldwide. You can see them in space as well, above Earth's orbit. I mean, it goes on and on and on, guys. There's so many trillions of dollars of hardware. We could talk about this for hours, guys. And we're going to do future videos more on it. And I've discussed the black budget technology. So I just want to give you guys a quick scope there, a fundamental overview of what Alizondo, you know, when he talks about, don't be confused about threats, guys. You know, there is no threat. So, and apparently the ATIP program, it's a program that really didn't even exist. I mean, come on. And his whole story, remember Elizondo? He's just this disgruntled employee several years ago, right? Before he came out on mainstream media, or when he did come out with the story. He was a disgruntled employee because, well, he was so fed up with how the government was responding to UFOs. You know, he wants to get the truth out. What a bunch of horseshit. Very little truth from Alizondo. Again, guys, he refuses to admit that they're all military UFOs. He refuses to talk about the defense contractors or any of the waste and fraud and abuse, mismanagement of spending. Unlike myself, unlike the great Michael Schratt, my buddy, the aerospace aircraft historian, who also exposes the fraud, waste, and abuse, mismanagement of spending from the likes of Lockheed Martin and other defense contractors, guys. Come on. This is real reality we got to talk about, but you won't hear it from Alizondo, and that's disgusting. You know, it really is. He's doling out this pathetic reality, guys. Sorry, I just get so exasperated, but I told you it'd be a rant on Alizondo today. Now, if I could just get this to go. Come on. There we go. Oh, I'll turn it up for you guys.
Try to ascertain and determine if that information is a potential threat.
Yeah, ascertain whether it's a threat or not. Okay.
So
whatever. He knows it's not a threat. He knows it's trans-international, this technology, by the way, guys.
Been a little bit mischaracterized in some of the social media you see.
Oh God, he's so trained, guys. He's so, you know, it's total typical CIA speech the way he talks.
What we think is logical, and there's still, by the way, a lot we really don't.
Oh yeah, there's so much we don't know. Is that right?
That we have identified.
Well, we don't know because of you, you idiot. I mean, come on, guys. But there's a lot we do know. I mean, this guy doesn't spill out any real, hardly truth at all. The real knowledge, and there's lots to ascertain, guys. He talks about ascertain, you know, whether they have to ascertain, you know, they got to ascertain whether it's a threat or not or what it is. Well, how about talking about the real gravity research going on in the 1950s that I talk and show you guys on my videos, right? What a moron. He won't tell you that I keep saying in my videos, guys, nowadays, because it's so important. I'm kind of proud of myself in a way because it took a lot of practice, but I was able to memorize two of the most important primary sources, guys, I think, of evidence ever on military UFOs and this amazing technology, the breakthrough that was made, guys. I'll give you an example, and you'll never hear Alizondo talking about it, and he should, right? 1955. Vintage 1955. Remember, guys, I told you that epic human project that was underway This book shows you much of the testing and research that was going on, guys, on anti-gravity and anti-gravity, electromagnetism, and electrogravitic research, guys, okay? And this is what the UFOs are relying on, and I broke down that technology in past videos. We'll do it again. But, so 1955, guys, you had about 11 newspaper articles written in the day, 11 or 12 of them, and I'll quote you one or two right now. How about we do Amarillo Daily News, guys? So important. Vintage 1955, November 29th, okay? I said this in the last video, but bear with me, present subscribers, if you've already heard me say this, okay? But it's so vital. It said, on the front page, it said, spaceship marvel seen, if science can outwit gravity. And it went on to say, many in America's aircraft and electronic industries are excited about the possibility of using magnetic and gravitational fields as a medium for support, get this guys, for amazing flying vehicles that will not have to depend on air for lift. That's right, guys. They certainly aren't depending on air for lift. And of course, Alizondo, David Frere, or whatever that idiot CIA puppet is, they all know that, of course, guys, right? And any researcher worth a grain of salt, we all know, and eyewitnesses will know, that they're not relying on rockets, right? It's a whole other technology, guys, and they're not relying on aerodynamics. Now, anyway, so it went on to say, they're not depending on air for lift, and spaceships will be able to accelerate many thousands of miles an hour within seconds and changing course suddenly at these speeds without subjecting their passengers to the so-called G-forces from gravitational pull are also envisioned. Did you hear that, guys? That's exactly right. And that's what Elizondo and David Frere, these two CIA puppets I described, because that's what they are. David Frere is not directly ever involved in the CIA. Like I said, he's not even intelligent enough to be involved in the CIA. The CIA can thank me on that one. I'm giving them their credit on most of their intelligence out there, the guys that would be involved in directly with CIA, but he's still a puppet for the CIA. They put him out there in the defense contractors. But Alizondo, guys, he worked for the CIA. He's most likely a CIA contractor, as I said now. Dark journalist knows it. Walter Bosley knows it. My buddy Joe from the Carolina knows it, I'm sure, too. Hi, Joe. Shout out to you. Joe's ghosting me right now. We'll get in that in future videos again, but it's a shame. Joe, I don't know why, man. Just be courageous, dude. Reply back to me, you know. Enough with our tiff. But anyway, I digress, guys. So, Alizondo, he knows that they're not relying on G-forces, guys. But he won't tell you that we made the breakthrough. The Americans did, man. And now it's trans-international. That, as I said, guys, Russia, China have major military UFO flying programs, too. But I believe a lot of ways America's ahead of the game, for sure. So let's go on here, guys. Thank you for listening. You see the title? Ex-UFO Program Chief. He's a chief. Give me a break. Alizondo's no fucking chief, excuse my language. We may not be alone. Oh, really? They actually put that title on CNN. Can you believe it? You think Alizondo will at least tell CNN, you don't need a title, we may not be alone? Okay? On astronomy, it may be true we may not be alone, but we don't need a title misleading people when we're supposed to be talking about military UFOs, man. We made the breakthroughs. These trillions of dollars of hardware, guys, inner skies, in particular, an inner solar system, you never need an ET explanation. Can I be any more clear? Thank you. Here we go. It's true. I'll discuss the other newspaper article, guys, in future videos.
Type of aircraft. Let's call them aircraft. Things.
Yeah, they are don't have, aircraft or spacecraft.
Any obvious flight surfaces, any obvious forms of propulsion, and maneuvering in ways.
Military intelligence official. They should be saying CIA, because he admitted he used to work for the CIA. We know that.
Of a human or anything biological. Hypersonic velocities, low observability.
That's right.
Positive lift. Again,
that's right. That's what I just quoted you guys in 1955 from the newspaper articles, right? He should be talking about it. If he wants the truth out, why isn't he telling the world, my friends, on lamestream corporate media? You see how corporate media play by dirty games, unfortunately, largely, guys? And put this guy out? There's very little intelligent discourse, my friends. And again, guys, Luis Elizondo and Dark Jones and Walter Bosley, they basically told you guys this as well. They know it. He's trained to lie. This is his job description, guys. And he's choosing to sell his soul. I mean, this is crazy, guys. We do not need idiots. In my opinion, he's chosen to be an idiot now that he's retired, guys. He's on the wrong path. And if I talk to Luis Elizondo in person, you believe me, he'd hear it from me. I hope I meet this guy one day. I'll set him straight, man. Alizondo, you need to start telling us the truth, man. Stop bringing up all this uncertainty. Stop with your lies and your bullshit. You know about the gravity research in the 1950s. You can't be that much of a moron, unlike David Frere, who probably doesn't even know about the gravity research in the 1950s. But come on, Alizondo. You can do better than this, man. It's a goddamn shame what you're doing. You're rebuking our power and sovereignty. We deserve better. Most of us in the public deserve better than this sanitized, sagitized, pathetic disclosure that you're doling out with a lot of disinformation, as the CIA always do. They put out disinformation, misinformation, misdirections, blurring the truth. And meanwhile, you're financially harvesting the planet to the tune of trillions and trillions of dollars, not to mention at least hundreds of billions of dollars of covert economic crime cash flows over the years too. I mean, these are facts, guys. I did a whole series on the missing trillions. You know, Alizondo, he'll never tell you what I told you guys and I follow the line of Catherine Austin Fitz's research a lot when it comes to missing trillions. How about this asshole? Why doesn't he tell us that, Alizondo, why don't you tell us what Catherine got reported and it was carried worldwide? It's a hard figure, $21 trillion missing since 1998. Why don't you tell us about that, Mr. CIA, a former CIA, now contractor, Alizondo? No, he won't tell you. He won't tell you that also about $50 trillion in assets shifted out of North America, as I've said many times in my videos, guys, including the live stream with Joe that I'll link for you guys in the description. We did that about a year ago, a live stream. I think one of the most powerful, electrifying live streams ever done, if I may say. I think you guys hopefully will concur if you see it. But no, he won't tell you that 50 trillion's been shipped out in North America. Catherine tells you guys and shows you. If you go to the early 90s to the bailouts, my friends, we're up to 50 trillion in assets she's estimated shipped out in North America. And those estimates would be correct. You know, you had the pump and dump of the stock markets, quantitative easing, 20 trillion or so bailed out to the banks. You had 11.5 trillion missing from the federal government years ago. I mean, it goes on and on, guys. And so that would be accurate. And then, as I said, the bailouts too. Now we're in 2020. And this doesn't even include when may have been shifted in the industrial world in Europe, my friends. Right? Absolutely. By the way, my phone just went dark, guys. I'll have to end this video. I'm sorry. I hope you guys will subscribe and give me the thumbs up. We'll talk more on future videos, my friends. My battery must be dead. But thank you so much for listening, my friends. We'll continue with Alizondo, I promise, and we'll finish this clip because it's so important, guys. We got to expose some of these CIA dirty players. We really do. Especially if we want to grow a culture society to sustain ethical leadership, right? Bye.